New beginnings breed only new problems. Let's solve them together. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism 3.0. Hello and welcome to the reboot of Modern Escapism. Harder, faster, better and stronger. My name is Oodles, and joining me today we have Stig.
Hello. This calls for something special. New beginnings.
Does it?
I've got some dragon soup.
Oh my god.
I'm cracking open the dragon soup for this episode.
Oh, Stig becomes the Oodles. The mantle has been passed over.
That's right. That luscious voice you just heard was Gadget.
Hello.
Hello there.
I'm just drinking Moretti.
He's just drinking Moretti. And we also have Biggie.
Hello, this is 3.0, Requiem.
Fucked already.
And topping us all off, we've got Candy.
All right, me babbers.
God, she peaked so well then.
She's decided to use a real voice for this recording.
Yeah.
So, how are we all doing this week? How are we all doing these new beginnings? This new room, this new place?
I think Stig's regretting his soup.
I can smell
It'll
the
wake up.
paint.
I don't know if alcohol with this energy drinks goes very well.
It does, mate.
Vodka
Trust me.
Red
Yeah,
Bull.
put hair in your chest. It's fine.
I'm going to see it through
Finally.
because I need to wake up because I'm absolutely knackered from being at the wrestling.
Yeah, you
I think...
need to wake up 2 hours before you go to bed. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm hungover as well, so...
Do you know what? This
I'm not
week I've been
drinking.
absolutely surrounded by not just drunk people, but absolutely fucking shithouse hammered people. Like last night, so I've got my next door neighbour, right?
It might have been me.
It could have been. I was driving around last night, so I wasn't drunk. But my next door neighbour, as soon as I pulled
Officer.
as soon as I pulled into my car park, I heard this like kerfuffle, like something's going on. And my next door neighbour, who's this lovely like 50-something woman, has the grandkids round of a Sunday, watches Corrie. She came staggering. She's being held by her friend, staggering, and she literally can't stand up. So I kind of have to take the drunken baton from the front door to her flat. So I'm kind of carrying her. She's dropping her keys all over the show. I have to get the keys, unlock her door for her, and just kind of like push her into the direction of her bedroom. Like, just go, be free. And I slam the door behind her. Slam the door behind her, and I heard this almighty crash from behind the door. It's like, she might still be dead. I haven't heard much sound from her. So.
I mean, there's every potential if she was that drunk, she's just slept in a hallway.
And we've also got your
Maybe.
testimony on recording now.
Yep.
Maybe I should
It's
have
not very
got her
good.
Does that construe as manslaughter?
Well, I
Maybe.
didn't push her to the floor. I pushed her in the direction. It was her who fell to the floor. It was gravity that pushed her to the floor.
It was gravity that killed the beast.
Sounds like she's just trying to come up with an alibi here. I didn't push her,
It
honestly,
really
officer.
does.
Oh God! Oh God! I can't take the heat.
With it.
My voice, by the way, is knackered. So
Beautiful. Oh,
it might
I thought you
croak
were doing a
and
new
bri-
thing.
No. I was a lot of singing and chanting last night because it was fucking amazing. I'm not going to talk about it in the Nexus because I've got an actual film to talk about.
Wait, quickly tell us
film.
about wrestling.
But the wrestling was amazing, and the UK crowds are the best crowds because we don't get this kind of stuff every now, like at all.
They're like, Triple H, you're a fucking nonce.
Was it
Like that.
No.
WWE or AEW?
Like
yeah,
a
it's
football.
this was WWE Money in the Bank, which is one of their premium live events, or was called pay-per-views. So yeah, it was just mint. Like obviously, because the UK we have like kind of football chants, so they bring a
Yeah,
bit of
that's
football
why I was
chant
singing
into
that.
it. Yeah, but yeah, and because I got tickets through work, who have a box at the O2,
Ooh,
I didn't know what to
nice.
expect. Walked into this room with my brother and our mate, and I was just like, "Wow, yeah, this is it. This is how you do it." Like, there's a bar there, there's room service, there's a lounge area. The seats were like the view
Did you
from the
feel like
seats were
Pep
perfect.
Guardiola? It's having a
But,
great
like,
time in my box.
I've seen some pictures from people who said like depending on where they are in the stadium, the lights can get in the way, but this like it's absolutely spot on. You could see everything. There was no issues.
I think I'd prefer to be higher up.
Yeah, and it's mid-level these, and I was a bit dubious about because the thing says smart casual and you are representing the company and all that. I got there and the other guys from work they were well into it, way more than the kids that they brought as well.
A 316 t-shirt on.
So we all got absolutely wankered and was just like cheering and singing on the wrestling, and yeah, it was amazing. And then John Cena came out and teased a WrestleMania in London.
I knew someone would have made that joke.
Yeah. He'd come out, he's like, it's about time you guys had a WrestleMania. So everyone went fucking nuts. And I've watched a lot of clips back to see what it was like on TV. And when he said that, he there's a moment where he looks really taken aback by how loud it is. Because you just see him mouth fuck. Like I don't think he realized how loud the pop was going to be when he said like you should have a WrestleMania. But yeah, it's amazing, and it actually had consequences, because what used to happen with these is they do a pay-per-view in the UK and it wasn't a pay-per-view, it was just a glorified house show. But they've actually brought a proper one here which has proper storyline implications. They had returns, like things that actually mattered, which is good for the UK crowd. It wasn't just
cool.
Here's some wrestling matches that mean nothing. So yeah, it was mint. I fucking loved it.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
I saw the pictures you posted. The view you had from your box was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I think, because the way the O2 is arranged and that, I wouldn't want one of the floor seats because you won't be able to fucking see anything. You've got people in front of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. See, when I went to WrestleMania, I was at that, not the floor seats, but then the risers.
Yeah.
Like they're not like actual stand seats. The ones they put in there, like that first section, the ones where they start to rise up, and you can see the ring. But as soon as they go to the floor, all you can see is like their shoulders and head. You can't see it. You have to watch it on the screen. Whereas this, amazing view. Like when next they do another event there, I'll be like 100% going back again.
Yeah,
and taking advantage of that box for gigs.
Box free bar, wankered.
Want a free bar, unfortunately.
Wounded.
Well, 45 quid a ticket. Can't complain.
True.
No?
It was like a 9.5 out of 10 then.
Yeah, because it was London prices. Luke Oodles, how much do you reckon 2 pints worth?
Don't, mate, don't.
12 quid.
2 pints. Where I live, 6 quid.
Yeah. £17.50.
Fuck off!
Whoa.
I'm glad I don't drink.
That's
anymore.
London prices plus the event tax.
Yeah.
Because when I was in London in March, it was about £7 a pint.
Right, you've annoyed me enough with those pints. Biggie, it's time. It's time. The listener has been eagerly awaiting. This is the longest we've ever gone without hearing some of your breaking news.
You may already know, but he doesn't, because it's time for Biggie's Breaking News.
Come, my biggie. Come, my biggie. You're my breaking news. Sugar, baby. Come, my biggie. Come, my biggie. You're my breaking news. Sugar, baby.
Oh, no.
Biggie Shell.
For you, Noodles.
I hate that song so much.
This is your fault. You posted about it.
That's my kryptonite, that song. It's literally my kryptonite. It's the worst, lowest common denominator chav bilge ever.
3 doors down on my kryptonite.
Oh, that's not even funny. Yellow card.
I'll take it. I thought that was good.
No.
I'm gonna put that on the Patreon bit.
The Yakuza Complete Series, which comprises of 7 games from Yakuza 0 through to Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, was recently released on GOG. However, with this release, changes have been made to the game's credits, with several former Ryu Gakutoku studio staff members, I hope I got that right, and entire support studios have not been acknowledged for their work on the series. As spotted by somebody on Reddit, developers such as series creator Toshiro Nagoshi and producer Daisuke Sato, who both left Sega several years ago to form Nagoshi Studio, are no longer credited for their work. Meanwhile, the entirety of Lab 42, which worked on 0 and Kiwami 1, helped to bring these games to PC, and Q-Lock, who worked on Kazami 2 to 6, have also seen their credits removed.
That's harsh as fuck.
Mm.
That's
This
really
is
shit,
weird.
isn't it?
Disrespectful. From a country where respect is like paramount.
It seems like something very deliberate as well, because it's just them bundling the games together. Like, it's not like they're remastered or anything beyond what they were. They're just they're just
no
the
added
Steam,
extras, is there?
Yeah, it's just the Steam versions of the game thrown onto GOG.
I mean, if they've removed credits, technically these are inferior products. There's less content.
I mean,
I know it's just writing.
by
I know it's just
kilobytes.
writing off someone's name. Yeah, still,
But more,
inferior product.
We've had this before where people have had their credits removed. Like, it fucks with their career and it fucks with their legacy.
Look what happened to Kojima.
I mean, he's doing fine.
Bit bigger, bit of a more public fallout, but
And he just slapped his name throughout the game instead of in the credits.
it was too late. The game had gone gold. I couldn't stop it.
Just put credits on each fucking mission, which did me head in.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, but they took him off the box, mate. They took him off the box. Don't do this.
Yeah, this sucks. I hope this is more of a Sega thing than a Ryu Gagoto thing, because RGG seem like decent lads.
You'd think. You never know what's happening behind closed doors in offices. You know what it's like? We've all worked in an office environment. Terrible places.
Oh, awful places.
Terrible. Next.
Konami and Bloober Team's upcoming remake of Silent Hill 2 is reportedly 100% bigger than the original.
Every time I hear
2001.
this, just Konami and Bloober Team. Every time I hear it, I can feel Gadget like imploding.
Yeah, not quite sure how they're going to do that.
Well,
Make it bigger. I'm just going to put optional bollocks in it.
I'm annoyed at this. I think I was talking about this in Punk's Discord server. Like, Silent Hill 2 is a perfect game. It is depending on how quick you are working out the puzzles, it's a 4 to 7 hour psychological horror game that is tightly paced. It's only got one section, I think, which drags, and that's just you boating across the lake, because that's a fucking pain in the dick, that section. But it is really tightly paced. Everything is there that needs to be there. Like, there's not really much kind of hidden extras to go and find.
You can miss one or two weapons, but they're not substantial.
But even then, they're not really far off the beaten path.
No.
Because the story is so fucking tightly paced. And I don't see how you can remake the game and add this much more to it. Like I get what they did with like Dead Space when they remade that, and they kind of just added some extra bits, but they didn't add too much more to the game. They just kind of fleshed out the story a bit, and
it didn't lose its identity either, did it?
No. I'm just kind of worried this is going to bloat the fuck out of the game. And I mean, I have no confidence in Bloober Team whatsoever.
What did they do? Layers of Fear in that fucking Medium game.
They did Layers of Fear, the Medium.
Terrible.
They've made one
Observer.
Well,
that's good.
Observer's their good game. That's their one. Good. That's the exception that proves the rule.
That's the Rutger Hauer one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy that he's in a game.
Yeah. That was the last thing he did before he died.
I think so, yeah.
Do you think that by bigger they mean literally like it's just going to come in a really big box and that's just their way of
that'd be better. What I don't want them to do is to like make the
a really long
bigger, so
code.
you just walk in for longer.
Yeah,
There's no need to
literally
change.
bigger buildings.
Yeah, bigger buildings. I don't want them to do that.
I think I made a joke to someone that maybe by making 100% bigger, like you have to find all 6 of the cans for the cans of drink that you have to drop down the garbage chute to get the key or some shit like that. You know?
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried by it. I mean, I wasn't keen on it anyway, just after seeing the fucking to James in the cutscenes.
I don't like it.
Off.
I don't like it. But I am like Konami are trying again. They're trying to actually make old games, but they're trying.
They're not. They're farming it out to someone else. They're doing the minimum fucking work here.
Okay, they're giving people the rights to try.
Yeah.
They all it is going to be is they're going to add like a pachinko casino to the town.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Maybe you sit and have a dance off with Pyramid Head or some shit like that. I don't know.
Oh god.
Ooh.
Next.
Play esports.
Maybe we can get Pyramid Head's sympathetic backstory.
Yeah.
No, we got that.
Which, if you play the game, you would know. Ooh.
Yeah, we know his backstory.
Or lack thereof.
Next. I'll lack thereof, yeah.
Final Fantasy 16 is apparently crashing PS5s and completely shutting them down. This is according to multiple user reports on Reddit and Twitter. Apparently, it's a specific point in the game when the graphics mode has been utilised. For context, graphics mode pushes resolution but caps the frame rate at 30 frames per second.
So
I'm
I
using
watched
graphics
a
mode.
video of one guy that did this, right? He was right, the game crashed. Then he showed me his PlayStation 5. That thing was basically a dust factory.
Oh. Mine probably
Gosh.
is as well, though.
Yeah, but are you
It was-
running
no,
it
it
in
was
graphics or are
minging.
you running it in performance?
He had cobwebs. He had cobwebs coming out of it.
Wow.
I had it wrapped in a tea towel as well.
It's just it's
In a window.
baffling how he even got his thing to turn on in the first place. It was disgusting. But I got through that bit on graphics mode just to prove a point. You know what I mean? I know which bit it is because, like, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's probably the most graphically beautiful thing I've ever seen on a video game. Not much interactivity, but what it's doing is absolutely spectacular.
It's a really fucking big
And-
cutscene, isn't it?
It's a playable-ish cutscene,
Right.
but it's just grand on the grandest scale I've ever fucking seen in a game. And I get why it's on PS5 only, and this would not be able to run on a PS4. Not a chance. Not a prayer. I don't even know if it'd work on a Series S.
Ooh.
On an X, of course it would, because it's actually better, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more powerful, technically.
Yeah, a big PC would be fine, but I mean, yeah, when I was playing it on my PS5, I was going, which is the loudest it's ever been. Just that. I get it, but clean your fucking machine.
I wonder also if
Imagine
it's
this was
something
on
with
a
having...
PS4, you get a fucking noise complaint. Police would ring you up saying, I've had a noise complaint.
You would, mate. You
I
get
gotta-
raided.
I remember trying to play Red Dead Redemption 2 on my PS4 Pro. I thought the damn thing was going to take off.
Yep. You just got to get it clean, man. Get one of them dust
canisters.
buster things.
I did
Yeah.
that. I cleaned it out, took it apart. I replaced the what's it called?
Thermal paste.
I replaced the thermal paste and everything, and that lasted about a month before it started to go again.
The PS4 was badly made.
It was literally stuck together with chewing gum, weren't it? I think PS5, as ugly as it is, it's built well. It's built well. It's locked down.
It's built for cooling. With giant fucking
That's
fan
what
that
I mean.
takes up the top third of it.
Yeah, it's fine. I think it again.
The disk drive
the
needs
Series
fucking
X,
shutting up though. Fucking hate how loud
Oh,
that
yeah, it
bastard is
does,
whenever I
yeah.
turn it on.
mate, my disk drive turns on when I'm loading Netflix up.
Oh yeah, it does.
It's like,
'cause
what are you
just,
doing?
It just checks whatever disc's in there.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's Netflix, boy. But yeah, I wouldn't worry, guys. If you've got a clean PlayStation 5, don't worry about it, honestly. Candy, you're not far from this bit. You've just told me how far you are in the game. You
Really?
are not far, mate. You need to clean that shit
Yeah, I
up.
do have it on graphics mode. It's not the dust I'm worried about, it's the cat hair. Infinitely more flammable.
Maybe
I
just get the
have it-
Hoover nozzle at the back of it before you play it
Yeah.
next.
Yeah.
It sounds daft.
Big enough for the
This-
cat to sleep in it.
This is proper micromanaging my game experience, but I put it on graphics mode sometimes, and I put it on performance mode when I'm fighting. I know it's a lot of faffing, but I just do it.
Mm.
'Cause I need 60 frames when I'm fighting, because there's a lot of parry windows that you've got to, as you probably are aware, Candy.
Yeah.
It's Parry-mageddon, that game.
It is Parry-mageddon. I haven't noticed, actually. But it says it runs at 30. Like, I feel like it's a little bit more than that. It feels like
It is more than that.
It's pretty smooth.
It's like it goes no lower than 30, but it can go up to like 50, something like that. But the reason I don't keep it on graphics mode is because of the motion blur. It makes me sick.
Yeah, there is a bit of that. I noticed a little bit of
But it-
jittering during the cutscene, but other than that, it's been fine.
Yeah, it's great. It's beautiful. Next.
German developer Daedalic Entertainment is ending internal development to focus exclusively on publishing after the disastrous launch of The Lord of the Rings Gollum.
Oh, did
The
that not go
report
down
also,
well?
It also indicated that the other Lord of the Rings game it was developing, which it got €2 million funding for the German government, is also ending. So it's
What
not
was
gone
that going to
well.
be? Lord of the Rings chuffing Pippin?
They hadn't said what it was going to be. It was just like they were like starting it up.
Tom Bombadil.
They should have just
it's
stuck to
Tom.
doing point and click adventures like the Deponia games that Daedalic did were fucking brilliant.
Pony, I've got the whole collection on Switch. They're fantastic.
Yeah, well that's who did Lord of the Rings. Gollum.
How can that's a really polished point and click adventure. Why? What's wrong with Gollum? Gollum looks like
It's
I made it.
It's almost like a small independent team moving away from the genre that they've known how to make is not a good idea.
Yeah. Well, stick to publishing, Daedalic. Enjoy yourselves. Have a happy New Year. Next.
Oh, someone's just shoved something in here. There's a new update for Baldur's Gate 3, developer Larian Studios, and it has revealed that the title has around 174 hours of cutscenes.
That's why I wanted to shove it in there. 174 hours. That's ridiculous.
Fucking hell.
I mean, that's
actually
obviously
must
going to
be
be
well
like
upset.
side missions and shit, isn't it? Like,
It'll be side missions.
No.
It'll be all the dialogue.
I
And if you
can't
played
wait.
Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, they had so much voice dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just
I
thought
love
they
them.
were like 174 hours. Kojima's
That
there
is
going.
coming on PS5, isn't it?
He's
Yes.
thinking he's out. Challenge accepted.
He's rubbing one off at that.
Also, actually, should have been put in the news. They brought the release date for it forward on PC.
Yes.
Now it comes out
Yeah.
August the 3rd on PC, and then September the 6th on PS5.
That's close.
It was supposed to be the end of August for PC, and then September the 6th. But yeah.
Mate,
I have too many games to play.
I'll buy anything Larian put out after
Larian's so
Divinity,
good.
mate.
But this is also good for me because it comes out, one, just after payday, and two, I now get like a 6-week time lag to play Baldur's Gate 3 before Starfield comes out.
Yeah, the disappointment that will be Starfield. I'm joking, Candy. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Straight to my heart.
It's just coming out on one console. Next.
It doesn't matter. She'll have a watch.
Over to the world of film and TV. Superman Legacy has found its leads with David Corenswet, I think is that how you pronounce it?
Current Sweat.
And Rachel Brosnahan.
Beautiful
They've both
names.
appeared in House of Cards together,
Brosnan.
believe it or not.
House of Cards was good, but you can't watch it.
Oh, you can't watch
He is. I've heard he's really good in The Politician. I've not watched that, but I remember seeing him in Pearl, and just looking at him in Pearl, I was like, "That's your new Superman."
Yeah,
He
definitely
looks like-
Look at him. It's
It looks
he
like Henry Cavill just gave birth to him.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like that man
Very
is
similar.
Superman. Look at him, and he's really good. So, and we know
He's a
that
cutie patootie.
James Gunn has actually done a lot of screen testing with this. This isn't a case of they look good, let's have them. He's actually done screen tests. He's put different Loises and Clarks together to see how they worked with each other. He's done costume tests to see what they look like. He's really gone like proper into this to make sure he gets the right choice. So, and also I think James Gunn pretty much nails his casting anyway.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
he's very
he's
good
never
at
got that
finding
wrong,
the
has
right
he?
actor.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised to see Rachel Brosnahan as Lois, but then I think about it, she's really fucking good in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yes.
Yes,
and
I've
she
heard
is
that.
just a really good actress in general.
She's not bad to look at.
No, I also did notice that the internet immediately started kicking off at the prospect of the primary cast all being Jewish. So I'm all for it, 100%. I will go see it at the cinema just to piss them off.
Oh, I did. I saw people kicking
Let's
off
do it.
because he's not muscly. But I always found it weird how Superman had muscles anyway, because what's he lifting to gain those muscles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into it, but yeah.
Is like, what's it, Mr. Incredible, where he goes to the train yard and is just lifting up locomotives?
No, it's more to do with the fact that baby's born. Oh, I'm not getting into it.
Don't get into it,
I'm
We're
not
not in for
doing
the law.
it.
This is the news. This is the law section.
Look at Chris Pratt before when he was cast as Star-Lord compared to when he actually
Have you seen
played
the screen
Star-Lord.
test for Henry Cavill and Man of Steel when he's got his first
Yeah,
ever? When he's got
skinny.
he's skinny as fuck.
Yeah.
These,
Look at him now.
these people get put through their paces 6 to 8 months'
They
time.
do.
He'll be absolutely
They do.
jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he
it-
looks great and he's a great actor, so...
It would be nice
Yeah.
instead of him being like fully proper, like jacked, if he was just like toned muscly rather than like
Smallville Superman.
rather than being because he's supposed to play a younger Superman as well, I think.
Yeah, early 20s.
Yeah, rather than him being like the size of a fucking fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Christopher
I mean,
Reeves.
if
basically
James
that kind
Gunn,
of
Yeah,
just statues.
if James Gunn wanted to be super brave, he should make it so it's Superman before he learns how to fly when he's just jumping over buildings instead. That'd be so much cooler. Limit him.
As long as it's going to be uplifting and a joyous
Yeah, not
Superman,
somber.
and not stupid.
I
Letting
want
his
Clark
dad
Kent to
die
be
in a-
bumbling around an office like Christopher Reeve did,
Yeah.
knocking into desks. Oh God, I love him so much as Clark Kent. He's the best. Oh God, he's so good.
But like Nicholas Hoult was in the running.
He'd have been brilliant because he's
Yeah, I can
clumsy.
see that.
He's lost out
Yeah, I can
on.
see
He's
that.
lost out on Batman. He was in the running for Batman with Robert Pattinson got, and then
Oh,
he was.
Pattinson's good,
He's
though.
gone for. He went for Lex Luthor,
Mm.
and then decided that he was actually going to test for Superman as well. So he still could be in it as Lex Luthor.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Well, Lex Luthor should be an empowering person now. Don't have to be ripped and stacked and stuff, but he's still got an empowering presence.
Yeah.
So not
not-
Jesse
and-
Eisenberg.
Yeah, basically.
No,
yeah.
and in some of the mythology, they were friends at the beginning. They were friends. So leave it at that. Next.
Speaking of origin stories, Superpowered, the DC story, has had a trailer released for a new 3-part docuseries. Narrated by Rosario Dawson, the series takes an unprecedented look at the enduring and influential legacy of DC, allowing fans to rediscover the universe of characters as well as the iconic comic book company's origins. Docuseries will stream on Max in the States on the 20th of July. There's no official sign of a UK date yet.
This
Oh, okay.
is a really good thing, in my opinion, because I think too many people, you know who I'm talking about, think that a certain Snyderverse is the be-all and end-all of DC, and they don't actually know. I mean, I'm not obviously clued in up on it all, but I have more knowledge outside of what happened in the last 10 years. And I think too many people are hung up on the last 10 years of DC and don't actually know the origins and the characters' actual true selves. You see it with Marvel
You can
stuff
ask
as
someone
well.
who's Bill Finger, and people go, I don't know. Who's Stan Lee? They'll know who that is.
Mm,
Bill Finger invented Batman. Not many people know that.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think I think there's also the element, like in pop culture, there haven't really been that many good DC films. Like the Batman films have, apart from Batman and Robin, have by and large been either fine or very good. But like, you know, Green
Everything
Lantern,
else.
no,
No.
Snyderverse, no.
First two Supermans, original Christopher Reeves one.
Yep.
No, yeah, those
No.
ones. I mean, no, I guess maybe
But in general-
The
more
tentpole
recent.
characters have been great, haven't they? The tentpole.
The miss ratio has been off
Massive.
a lot, especially like this last
Yeah.
10 years. It's been an absolute shit show.
Well, yeah,
Bring it on.
because the last 10 years they've been doing, I want that one for what the MCU have, you know?
It's a shame. It's a shame because
Without having a
DC, I've
Kevin
always said
Feige.
this. I've always said that DC have the best characters, Marvel have the best stories. If people can work with these characters that I think are better than Marvel's characters, because Marvel basically copied nearly all of DC's characters. Apart from Spider-Man, it's quite
Including
original.
names.
Yeah. Spider-Man's probably one of the most until the X-Men turned up. But yeah, it's nice to give them. I want them to get some more love, not just Batman. Where's the Swamp Thing film? You know what I mean?
There's just something
where's
TV
these-
show, didn't there? And that
Yeah, they did, and apparently
got
they were all
cancelled.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never
But see,
mind, never mind.
my biggest problem that I have with DC is everyone bar Batman is a god practically.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is that. There is that.
All the tentpole ones, all the big ones, like they do
Yeah.
the Blue Beetle film and stuff like that. Who's kind of like just a, you know,
Aztec
powered
god.
by
It's
yeah, but
Egyptian,
powered
I
by
think,
a
actually.
tech
Scarab.
and stuff in here. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like Superman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman,
Wonder Woman.
Aquaman, they're all
Yeah, you're right, you're
they're
right.
all gods.
They're all- Yeah, it's wild, that, isn't it?
You've then also got the issue where, especially in this day and age that we currently live in, Batman comes across as a rich boy beating poor people.
Yeah.
He is an arch capitalist, and it doesn't look good in
Yeah, there is
2023
that.
in this backdrop of the world.
I mean, they've been pushing Nightwing for the last 20 years, mate, as the poor boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beating poor
Batman's still
people.
cool as fuck.
Yeah, Batman is cool. Batman's fucking cool.
Only we knew his origin story.
I don't know. I think it might involve pearls. Come on, let's move on. Next.
Last one, Arnold Schwarzenegger is attached to Commando 2. The sequel's proper name is Commando Retribution. They've gone for the R.
Oh, so close.
Remember when
According
I
to
said I'd do sequels? I lied.
According to the log line for Commando 2, the plot won't stray too far from the original. Arnold Schwarzenegger's John Matrix is forced out of retirement when his daughter is, again, kidnapped, leading him on a high-octane mission to rescue her and bring down the ruthless criminals responsible. Can I just point out from this news story, they also highlighted the fact that he is coming up to 80 years old.
Still
Wasn't
looks
his
good.
daughter in the original Alyssa Milano as well?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Alyssa Milano.
Are they going to
yeah.
get her back?
Hope so.
She's had kids in real life and stuff. Is John Matrix going to be a granddad in this?
As long as he's carrying trunks, a big like
Tree trunks,
you know,
yeah.
tree
Yeah.
trunks on it, and feeding ice cream to deers. I'm okay.
I would really like for the baddie to be cast as like Rami Malek, just with the Freddie Mercury mustache and the chainmail vest again.
No, it needs to be. What's his name? Vernon Wells. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Bennett. Just needs to be Bennett again.
Australian
But this
guy.
time, like
Bennett.
he's just
Let off
he's
some
got,
steam, Bennett.
he's got a piece of pipe where his stomach should be,
Here you go.
and then Arnie
Here you
goes
go.
to punch him in the stomach, and his hand goes right through, and he just laughs at him.
He goes, "You go through me." No, he's Australian, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Australian.
Is
Yeah.
it Australian or Kiwi?
yeah.
I can't remember. It's something Antipodean.
I haven't seen that film in decades.
Anytime I hear
Commander,
Commander, that makes me want to watch it. And there has to be, if there's no steel drums in the soundtrack, then I'm out.
and a Porsche 911 just bombing about. Oh, it's God. When he goes into that gun shop,
That film's
he goes,
ridiculous.
Oh, God.
It is.
If you watch as well, like the raid on the bad guy's camp at the end, when
Yeah.
he's blowing buildings up, you can just see that
Body
it's just,
count.
yeah, but you can just see that it's like cardboard cutouts stood in front of buildings.
Oh,
None
yeah.
of them. He's running around shooting. None of them move, and then they just get blown away. Like when the buildings blow up, it's
I was.
I fucking love it.
I just always enjoyed the like in the middle of LA that he manages to find that kind of 4-bore rocket launcher just to start firing
Yeah.
at people.
In that gun shop.
yeah, just goes. Just breaks
Like,
into a
I
gun
know
shop.
I know Americans love their guns, but I don't think you can buy a 4-barrel rocket launcher in a gun store.
No.
Not
No.
one in LA,
Maybe-
probably.
Maybe in
Florida,
80s.
maybe.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
I love Commando. I might do that. You know, if we finish earlier tonight, might just go watch Commando.
Watch Commando. Wait, what do you mean if we finish early tonight? We're finishing early tonight. Next.
Last one, the Weird World Web. A woman sells real-life piggy banks made out of taxidermy piglets. Rachel Lewis from Chandler,
What?
Arizona, US, was a hairdresser until
Always
4
American.
years ago when she took up a class in taxidermy. The 38-year-old has not looked back since and now works as a full-time taxidermist. She first had the idea to turn a piglet into a piggy bank around a year ago, but didn't act
Is she
upon it.
killing
That's-
baby pigs?
Oh my god, the picture that comes with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
A few
it's the
people
smell for me.
have
I'm going to post this
pre-ordered the
picture on our
unusual
Discord
item.
for you to see.
No.
Oh my
She's
God.
always
Eat
dreamt
pigs,
of being a
never mind.
mortician from a young age
Taxidermy.
and has helped her hunter husband, clean the skulls of dead animals in the past.
I went to a taxidermy class once,
I was
and
going
it
to
was
say, what
Pip.
are you making this face for? I
No,
know you've
no,
been to a
it's-
taxidermy class.
Well, I'll tell you, because it was Pip that took me, and I don't know if it was the free cocktail we got, but there was a point where you had to kind of turn a bird inside out, and I almost fainted and vomited. It was bad.
What do you mean you've been to a taxidermy class? What's wrong with you?
You know, to do
Well,
that,
I
don't
know
we,
this
Idles?
now, but
Turn a
I
bird
realised
inside
it
out.
wasn't the hobby for me.
Just for the benefits of the listeners, attached on this news story is a picture of one of these piglets, and the cork for the
What
money
bloke?
box is in its arse.
I've just posted it. Have a look.
Oh, no. I don't even eat the fuckers, and you guys are sticking corks up their asses.
Oh, look.
But it's just a
Oh,
piglet as well.
sake.
Like piglets are cute.
Why did it die so young?
To be made into a money
What
box,
happened?
clearly.
It looks like a digestive biscuit.
Oh, no.
People, stop being weird.
People stop being like. I mean, also, fair point to Will. Like, we don't eat piglets. Like they don't go into the food
Yeah.
chain. They have to grow up before they're slaughtered for meat.
Yeah.
So
So what are you doing?
I think they're just killing them.
That's fucked up.
It's so fucked
I
up.
don't know.
Is it something like they kill the boy ones because boy ones don't make meat? I don't know.
I mean, there is a quote in this article, Biggie. She says taxidermy gives animals a second lease of life, but did acknowledge the young animals' deaths as, quote, sad.
What? Yeah, because she stood on their heads.
Oh, God.
Stop eating pigs, guys. They're very
The
intelligent.
mum explained the
Not fair.
process and said, quote, it was really labour intensive to make. Instead of making traditional foam form, it had to be altered, cut in half, hollowed out, and the insides finished. Oh my God. I thought a piggy bank would be really cute to do. Nah.
Oh.
It's just wrong on so many levels.
I don't like taxidermy in general. I think it's
No,
It's
weird.
so
I like
weird, isn't it?
taxidermy.
Weird.
So weird.
Especially when
I've
people.
got 2 taxidermy pieces in my house.
You do.
Well, guess what
You
we'll
are
do to you when
weird.
you die? We're stuffing you.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind that. That'd be all right.
Yeah.
I can pose
Putting
for
you in your
pictures.
little. We're going to put you in your tattoo studio.
No, don't put me in work. Put me in Alton
Yeah.
Towers.
What about getting your?
Oh
pet-
yeah.
What about getting your pets done? You're not
Nah.
gonna get.
No
gonna get
way.
landed,
No.
are you?
No.
Kind of
Yeah,
handle
It's
that.
fucked up. It's fucked up.
That
It's
is.
fucked
when
up.
people
Stop
get
doing
their
it.
pets done.
Take
Stop
other
doing it.
people's pets, though.
Candy's looking now, isn't she? Like, I wish I could buy one of these piglets.
Not for
Right,
$350.
That'll do,
This
pig.
is terrible plumber. It's extremely intended.
I mean,
Let's
how much?
get into the meat
how much did
of
she
the
spend on that
episode.
watch?
Which
$350
watch?
on that on a piglet's nothing to Candy.
She's bringing home the bacon, though, isn't she?
Hey.
God.
Fuck off.
That's got to be a red card. I got a yellow card from before.
Now he's got a yellow now. You're both on yellows. I'm going to have to get some subs on here, Stig. This is worrying.
This fucking
Nexus
this drink's
time.
sent me into a fucking coughing fit.
It does, mate. It's got a kick to it as old dragon soup. I'm a little jealous that you're tanning it now. It looks lovely there. What flavour did you get?
His face has gone red as well.
It does. It fucks you up, mate.
Lemonade, mango, pink, mango, pink lemonade. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, that sounds
It
good.
fucks you up, mate. I had 4 of them, remember, on that episode. I nearly died.
How strong is soup? Is it like 6%?
7.5.
7.5.
7.5 plus all that
He's
caffeine
gonna
and
be
sugar.
pulling the plug
Stig.
of his PC later, isn't he?
Not to alarm you, and it came out just as I kind of stopped drinking. The do Dragon Soup XLs were at 12.5.
Get some of them for the next meetup.
They're about a tenner a can, but worth it, guys. They are worth it. Nexus. This whole episode is dedicated to the Nexus. By the way, and I haven't mentioned it yet, we have a surprise and a very new segment at the end of this show, so stick around after the socials. But Nexus time. Nexus. Candy.
Oh, you always start with me. I love it. I watched a film today called Nimona, which is an animated family film that was released this week, I think, on Netflix. Nimona's a shape-shifting teenage girl who's been shunned by society for being different and who joins Ballister Blackheart, a would-be knight wrongly accused of killing the queen. It stars Chloe Grace Moretz as Nimona and Riz Ahmed as Ballister. And I really loved this film. I turned it on as a whim, and it was a whim that did me right. The film's
First time for everything.
the film's a story of acceptance and being rejected by society. And it's a not particularly subtle analogy to the difficulties faced by queer people, but it remains a really positive and upbeat adventure, while including some genuinely heartfelt scenes. It's really lovely. Oh my God, let me talk about the animation. I'll go into further details about the studio in a minute because there's a bit of an interesting backstory. It's breathtaking.
I seen a clip of it today. It reminded me a lot of Arcane.
I was going to say it's very much like Arcane. If you love the kind
I
of...
also saw the trailer today on Netflix. You know, when you hover over a film and the trailer kicks, I saw the big whale.
Yeah. It's a really nice kind of juxtaposition between the traditional-looking knights, but it's kind of set in a futuristic kind of cyberpunky looking city, and sort of like period clothing as well. Like I said, yeah, it's not a million miles away from Arcane, and it has the coolest looking version of a traditional looking sword ever. It's all like carbon fiber and stuff, and just it looks sweet. But anyway, sort of, it actually started its life. Nimona started its life as a webcomic on Tumblr by N.D. Stevenson, who began working on the series while he was attending art college. He originally created the character in high school, and the finished piece ultimately became his senior thesis. And like I said, the film has had a bit of a roller coaster in terms of its development history. In 2015, 20th Century Fox acquired the rights to turn it into a feature-length film. And it was being produced by Blue Sky Studios, who are responsible for Ice Age and Rio. You know, a lot of those Disney films.
I like Ice Age.
Yeah, it's fine. Rio's good too. Yeah.
Yeah, Rio is good.
I thought they were DreamWorks.
DreamWorks. So in 2019, when Disney acquired Fox, the film was delayed by a year. Then it was delayed by another year before Disney announced that they were shutting down Blue Sky Studios, and they just cancelled the film altogether. And there was actually like some controversy surrounding the cancellation because several Blue Sky members spoke to the media saying that the film was almost complete, and that it contained an "I love you" and a kiss between two male characters. And this was at the time Disney was caught up in Florida's so-called "Don't Say Gay" bill. And staff stated that Disney that they'd received some pushback from Disney's leadership. So being cancelled by Disney actually probably did it a favour, because it kept all those scenes in, and it's picked up by Netflix and produced by Annapurna, who are known for doing like quite cool indie-ish films anyway.
They're like the guys at the party that like, oh, I don't like this song, Annapurna.
Well, yeah,
super cool Annapurna that always sits in the kitchen. I'm not
Yeah,
too
he
sure.
brought the weed.
Same
Annapurna
Annapurna
brought
that
the
does
weed.
the games as well.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
company.
the games, yeah.
So the new studio, the new animation studio is DNEG Animation, and that's the studio, Stig, that made Enter Galactic.
Ooh,
So you can you can kind of imagine the art
animation. That's amazing as well.
Incredible, and it's more of the same. Really rich colors. Just every single frame is really just glorious to look at. So I mean, too bad for Disney really, because I think Nimona is probably one of the best family films that Netflix has put out this year, and I really, if as a family film, absolutely top tier. Really enjoyed it.
I really wanted to watch it today, but I just didn't get a chance. And then when I did get, the girls were off doing something else.
God, girls.
Amelia's doing a second watch of Stranger Things. She finished watching it and
Oh,
literally
sweet.
started again.
My son's watched it like 4 times.
Yeah, like,
he loves it.
but
Didn't
yeah,
watch a
I really, really
children's
want to
show?
watch it.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. There's no like sex around. Well, there's a bit of sex in it, but
Previous
it's because it's
season
in
was pretty
Fortnite,
dark.
mate. It's all in Fortnite, so kids are obsessed.
Yeah.
Got to let them- you've
Amelia
got to
can
let them do
handle
it.
that. She's pretty
I
good
watched
with,
Hellraiser at 10-year-old.
Yeah.
This is not Hellraiser. Do you know what I mean?
she's pretty good. She's pretty good with the gore and the monsters and stuff. Anyway, but yeah, this film like looks stunning, and I've heard great things about it. And I want to watch it with the girls, but most of them are going, if they're not going to watch it, I'm just going to bloody watch it.
Yeah, just do it. Fuck them. Cool. That your week then, mate?
Yeah,
Have you got
pretty
something
much.
else?
Are
you happy with that?
tonight? Yeah.
Not tonight. I don't think I will.
No, I don't think I will.
Cool. I've got 2 things, but one's quite quick, so I've only just started it. It's called Oku, The Inner Chambers. It's a new Netflix anime series.
I wanted to watch this.
Let me tell you the concept of this. Imagine it's historically, what do they call it when they change history? What's the word for it in there?
Alternative
Revisionist.
history.
Alternative history, yes. So in the Edo period of Japan, a smallpox or a red pox or something like that affected 99% of the male population. So the shifts happened where there's still men left, but it's mainly women are in charge of the country. So women are now shoguns, women are now samurais and stuff like that in the Edo period. And the most precious commodity in Japan in this period is semen. Now, I'm not saying in a dirty, disgusting hentai way. It's just, I'm saying the
just children of
population. No, well, kind of. The population needs to continue. So men are like precious commodities. Like the roles have reversed in this. So like women go to brothels to be with men, like these rare men, and the shogun, the leader of that particular district or whatever, they have their own men in their castle and stuff like that. They're concubines, and it's about the shift in the paradigm. Like women are in charge, and it's women empowerment. Men are like the lowest class, and I think it's fucking incredible so far. I've not finished it, so that's why I'm not going to talk about it. But it's anime, but it's really great anime. Do you know when the high quality fucking Castlevania style anime?
Yeah.
It's just, it is an 18. Like there is, like trigger 1 is like this male rape and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And men rape men and stuff like that. Because if they're subjugated to just be pets, they want to start power. You know what men are like? I've got to enforce my dominance by doing what dogs do. Do you know what I mean? without spelling it out too much.
Well, this
There's a
sounds
lot-
like an uplifting viewing experience.
It's not uplifting. It's just eye-opening, and it's really good. I've only seen a good few episodes, 10 episodes, and they're quite long. They're like an hour episode, so it's worth watching. Watch the first episode, see if the synopsis gets you and it drags you in. But again, it's not one for the family, which a lot of anime.
Well,
are
the sound of it
nowadays,
sounds
aren't
interesting.
they? It's really interesting, and it's really believable. you could think, yeah, I can imagine a society that this would happen to. But yeah, it's women empowerment done right, because I believe there's a lot of women writers involved in it. It's based on a manga and stuff like that.
Looks like it's been adapted a few times. There's like 2 live-action film versions of it from like the early 2010s.
Now it's on Netflix, ready for you. And the voice acting's fantastic. I don't know what they're doing with the English voice acting lately, but they're smashing it. Because sometimes you don't want to be having subtitles on, because you want to be doing other things as well. And I don't know, it's really good voice acting. But again, you can have it in Japanese if you want. But the main thing I want to discuss, I finished watching The Witcher Season 3, Part 1.
Oh.
Did you not know this was split in 2 parts? Because I didn't.
I didn't even know it was out until you mentioned that you were talking about it.
Yeah. 5 episodes drop this month. Well, they've dropped, and 5 episodes will drop next month. That's clearly so Netflix people aren't just using the free trials, isn't it? Now, we've discussed The Witcher many times. I'm a big fan of The Witcher as an IP.
Yeah.
This is not good.
I've heard very bad things.
Oh dear.
However, the last episode of Part 1 is probably my favourite episode of the Witcher series. So it's like 4 shit episodes that are all leading into this crescendo of this mid-season break episode. That episode was phenomenal. It does all that. In one episode, it's based around a ball. You know, the masquerades that that the sorcerers hold. The big, where all the people from the series are in the same area, and it's all the perspectives changing and the time shifting, and it's the best episode they've done by far, and not a single thing is killed or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? It's just really good. It reminds me of those quests in The Witcher, the Witcher 3 game, where you go in and you've got mask on and you've got to like mingle and see people, and
got to do the politics thing rather than the
politics. And it's just, and I love a talkie.
You love a talkie, especially a fantasy talkie.
So why has this been so highly regarded for critics then?
I don't know.
Like, if you actually look at Rotten Tomatoes, I know it's not the best, like, probably it's a decent one. Season 1, 68%. Season 2, 95%. Season 3, 82% from critics. And then
Season 2 is my favourite so far.
Yeah, but I think, I don't know whether fans are just... do you know what I mean?
It's weird because...
It's weird because it's 44% Season 3.
Yeah.
It seems all over the place. Critics seem to enjoy it, but like you said, you didn't think it was very good.
I don't know. The first 4 episodes aren't very good. The reason being is because, like, minor spoilers for the last season, we got told about the Wild Hunt, didn't we? Way.
Yeah.
Forget that. See him a little bit, tiny little bit.
Is that going to be the second half of the series thing?
Clearly.
I wonder if Cavill just knew this and that's why he just gave up.
I think it seems, but he is his best in this last episode. It's worth getting through it for this one episode because these episodes lead to that episode. It's an arc that's going into that, and the next half of this season's going to be its own little thing. Clearly from that.
So what was season 2 like? Because I never watched it.
Season 2 was fantastic. I love it. It's my favourite season.
I liked it less.
Season 2, I found 8 out of the 10 episodes really good. I thought it really fell off a cliff at the end.
The last episode was terrible on season 2.
Looking at the headlines on the reviews for it, all the praise seems to be going to Henry Cavill.
He's fantastic in it. Even the shit episodes.
All of the critics are pointing out that the story's not coherent. That
it's not.
Things about Henry Cavill is carrying this series at this point.
He is. He's the best thing in it. He talks more in this.
Chris Hemsworth must be excited about it then.
Not Chris, it's Luke.
Liam
Hemsworth.
Yeah. The inferior Hemsworth.
Yeah, none of that's come up yet that they're going to change him or anything like that. I don't think they're ever going to mention that. It's just going to be a face swap in it. But
maybe it does like Doctor Who.
Yeah, it regenerates.
I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him Geralt getting like mortally wounded at the end, and they do some kind of spell, and it brings him back.
Yeah,
brings him
could
back.
Easily be done.
Different, or they had to transfer him like into a different
body
or something like that. Yeah, to make it make sense.
The thing is with this now that they're going away from the source material. They're making their own story up. And again, Cavill's really good, but it's worth watching those 4 episodes because you're not going to get the context from the last episode. The 5th episode, like I say, is genuinely fucking incredible. Like Black Mirror levels of, the best Black Mirror?
Yeah.
Like the best writing that Netflix are producing is in that one episode. I'm like, why couldn't I get why. It's probably very expensive to have everyone in that room at once.
I think the problem for me is that, and all well and good, episode 5 being great, but it's like the argument that people say, oh, you've got to play this game for 15 hours before it gets good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't want to.
That's
I don't want
4 hours you've got to watch.
4 hours of my life into something that isn't very good to get the context for one good hour.
Yeah. Do you know what they've done as well, which I think is just heinous? Siri's just a damsel in distress in this season.
Oh,
no. Well, why? They set her up last season to be this all-powerful being.
Yeah.
She is. She's. They're just all trying to protect her. Woo!
I think from what I've read, the thing that seems to have pissed me off, and actually a lot of people, and this was one's very specific to me, is they've made Jaskia bisexual.
Yeah, that didn't bother me that much.
That bothers me because Jaskia was always an ally.
Womanizer.
No, he was always a womanizer. He was very straight, but he was always an ally to people who wanted to have whatever proclivities they wanted.
Yeah, that's true.
That was the Jaskia Dandelion thing. He was straight as an arrow, but the campest motherfucker in Temeria.
To be fair, mate. To be fair, you haven't seen it, and his little thread's really good. And the person who he's bisexual with will blow your mind a little bit.
Is it Radovid?
Anyway, so what will?
Yeah,
Geralt.
A moot.
So yeah, like I say, is it worth watching those 4 hours to get to the 5th? I think yeah, because I really liked that, and I've only got to wait 4 weeks till the new one comes out. I don't know how they can get another season out of this. That's the issue I've got. Remember Blood of the Elves, or whatever it was called? That elf show they did?
Because no one watched it.
Blood Oranges.
I'm telling you that it's getting cancelled after the season. Fact.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's my nexus, guys. I recommend Uoku, The Inner Chambers, and I recommend episode 5 of Witcher season 3, part 1. If that's not confusing enough. Biggie, what you been doing, mate?
So I watched Stan Lee documentary, which is available on Disney Plus. I grew up as a neutral in the DC versus Marvel debate, and I always enjoyed the best of both worlds myself. But if I could be swayed one way or the other, then I would probably say I'm a little bit more of a Marvel man at heart. Growing up reading Spider-Man, Thor, Captain America, and of course the X-Men, as I previously mentioned on one of our older episodes. I was always amazed how Stan Lee seemed to be mentioned more than anyone else at Marvel. He was always linked with everything that came through Marvel, and I always thought of him as this legendary figure. Yeah. And this doc goes some way to explain how that happened, but it's clearly biased in Lee's corner. They sadly chose to visually show Lee's early years and career at Marvel as presented in these dioramas. I don't know if you've seen any of the footage of this, but it's a really odd choice. It's very clever, very lovingly created. But I feel like they're really missing opportunities to, instead of use the obvious visual style of comic panels, that would just seem like the obvious way. So
that's not what you mean. I thought you meant like comic panels, but just dioramas as in models, or what? That's awful. So why have they done that?
They do a bit of his story, and they go and zoom in on his family as he's where his upbringing as a child of Eastern European descent, and you see his mother and father, but they're all diorama models, and it's like I say, it's all very lovely done.
Oh God, I've just seen a picture of it. It looks so fucking weird.
So weird.
Why have they done that?
Who knows?
I'm going to drop an image in the chat.
Okay. I'm worried now.
But he was
like
originally
live reaction.
It looks like there's been skill put in there, but it's just really fucking weird.
Oh no. It looks like they cut scenes from like Theme Hospital or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That's shite.
He was originally christened Stanley Martin Lieber, and Stan Lee was his pen name, comprising half of his first name, half of his surname. His life could have taken on a different direction if he kept his original first job, working in a trouser factory. But the Great Depression meant that he lost his job and went looking elsewhere. And he landed a role as a runner at Timely Comics, which eventually rose through the ranks there. And of course, it became renamed as Marvel. He was noted as being pretty much the primary creative leader for 2 decades, leading its expansion from a small division of publishing houses to a multimedia corporation that dominated the comics and film industries. And in collaboration with others at Marvel, particularly co-writers and artists Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko, he obviously co-created iconic characters such as Spider-Man, the X-Men, Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, Ant-Man, etc., etc. This is where the film takes on a murky approach because it's highlighted Lee as the creator of the iconic characters already mentioned. Where
What about Jack
other
Kirby?
reports both state that Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko were very unhappy with Lee taking almost most of the sole credit for the creations. I personally would like to have seen this film dive into this, but it's clearly almost like a love letter approach to Lee and his life at Marvel. It also skips the reference period in the movie when Marvel was sold in 1986, and there's no mention of the mass exodus of artists like Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee.
Oh, when they all went to Image.
When they went on to launch the hugely successful Image comics.
So is it just a puff
So
piece?
Clearly.
Pretty much. There's no mention of Marvel facing bankruptcy either, and the film briefly mentions Lee's sadness when Marvel was eventually sold. And then it all of a sudden jumps to Disney's ownership, so it cuts out all of this happening. And it just features... Sorry, go on.
Does it delve into any of like the dodgy shit that happened to him in his last years with like his family and all that, like bilking him for money?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, they were
Because I think
really,
that's an important
really
part
bad.
of the Stan Lee thing. Because for all he was such a lovely guy, people took advantage of him through his entire career.
If
They
it
were
went for his
charged with
wife,
elderly
he'd have been
abuse.
fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
it
awful.
basically just jumps to Disney's ownership and features the legacy of Lee and how he was offered cameos in all the majority of the latest films.
So it's an hour and a
the
half
film-
long advert.
Yeah, the film is narrated by Lee throughout, blending his own tale and then clips of footage from interviews and various public appearances. So it's his voice throughout, and then there's the odd.
Did they mention?
what they
I mean, you can spoil it for me. Did they mention where they sacked him, silently sacked him, and said, "But we've got you an ambassador role. Are you happy?
Yeah, again, they kind of touch upon that, but don't. Again, they
We're
don't
going to
go
pretend
into
that
it.
you're the boss of Marvel, but you're not."
Yeah. So I think
Awful
if
what
you're
they
either
did to him.
if you're new to comics and the man Stan Lee, or if you're a lifelong fan, then it's a good starting point to see a little bit behind the legendary figure. But you just need to remember that this is purely a one-sided look at the man, and I'd like to. I assume at some point somebody's going to do a proper documentary on.
There is
like
a,
you say,
a-
there's so much more to the tale.
There's a biography. I Am Stan Lee, and that is
Yeah, that's
warts
great.
and all. That's warts and all. How he were abused, and how he had a long-time girlfriend that used to kick him about and stuff, and how when like someone came up to him and went, "I've drawn a character," and he was like, "Well, call him Ant-Man," and that's how he got the credit on his name. So he was a bit of a twat as well. You know what I mean? I created him. I named him. That
Yeah,
kind
and this
of
they
thing.
kind of just make him. He gives project ideas to the artist. They draw it. They give it to him. Then he writes the stories and.
Yeah,
it that
I mean,
way?
he is a
The Marvel
fantastic
method,
writer.
they called it. Yeah,
Some of
And-
his arcs are some of the best.
absolutely. And, he's obviously been involved with it. But I just think with obviously the side stories about how the artists that were
Oh,
involved
they
were
suffered
unhappy of how
massively.
they were represented, I think it would be much better to have a proper documentary where that's looked into a little bit more and celebrate him as well. But this is just literally a celebratory piece. And like
Shame.
you say, it's almost like a promo in a way.
Mm,
It was interesting
okay.
enough, but
I
don't
probably
expect
will
too
watch
much
it and
from
I'll scream at the screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's same with the DC. There's a DC book about the it's called Detective Comics, and it's how it was created and how unlitigious it used to be back in the day when Marvel just came up and went, "We're having that. We're having that. We're having that." Then there's nothing you can do about it. It's so clever, and then, but you've got to change the name of this character. You've got to change the name of this because, like Captain Marvel, and do you know Shazam was called Captain Marvel? That kind of thing. It's such a fascinating thing as well. But it's a shame it's just a puff piece.
Yeah.
Never mind. You got any more, mate?
That's it, mate.
Gadget.
So I guess I'll put my teeth in. I'll get started again. So a very quick one, just a quick mention, just because it's been brilliant, and there's been a few people talking about it on various Discords I'm in. Last podcast on the left have been doing a series about the to coincide with like Oppenheimer coming out, about the Manhattan Project and the creation of the bomb.
Ooh, nice.
It's a 6-part series. They go into extreme detail. It's not a pro-America story. There are a lot of cum jokes because that's just their style of doing things. But it is really interesting and really detailed. And I'm on episode 5 at the minute. 6 comes out next week. Then they're getting into the kind of horrific detail of what happened after the bomb was dropped on Hiroshima.
Well, the Enola Gay nearly didn't have enough time to get away.
No, I mean for the survivors on the ground.
Oh, as well. Oh,
yeah.
God. Oh, the things that happened there, man.
Yeah. It's harrowing, but I think it's a really important series, and I think they've done an amazing job of it. So if you're interested in kind of World War II history and you wanted like a less America fuck yeah approach to
Never even heard of that
things,
podcast. What's it called again?
Last podcast on the left. You'd like it because it's a mix of kind of like history. There's a little bit of true crime, weird horror, and like ghosts and ghouls and that kind of thing. It's a
That's
mix
how
of
I
true
came
crime
to it,
stuff.
from the ghosty ghouly type stuff. I've listened to it on and off for like over a few years. To be fair, I didn't realize they'd done that.
Yeah, plus they're absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
I like insanity.
but the main thing I want to talk about was I've been playing a little video game called Aliens Dark Descent, which came out this week.
Aliens Dark Descent.
Yes, so this is a real-time strategy game developed by Tindalos Interactive and published by Focus.
Who were they?
I have no fucking clue. Never heard of them. They don't even have a Wikipedia page. But it's been published by Focus Entertainment, so it's one of them games.
I played the first hour of this today, but
Yeah.
not as much as you, I'm sure.
Yeah, so it's set in the Alien universe. It's available on everything: PS4, PS5, Xbox, and PC. It's fucking brilliant. It's really fucking good.
Don't say that.
It's very good, Oodles.
No, it's not.
So the story of it's set in 2198, so it's 19 years after the events of the original trilogy of films. So Weyland-Yutani
Before Resurrection.
before Resurrection, but after 3. So Ripley's quite dead.
Good. I mean, not good. I don't like
Ripley
anything.
hating you.
I don't like anything like the
Prequel-y.
Resurrection onward. Yeah,
Or
fuck that.
Pre-Alien or post-Resurrection. Yeah, no, it's not that.
Yeah, basically.
It is. So it's you start off on a space station orbiting the moon of Lethe. So you're on a Pioneer station. A shuttle drops off some cargo, and it turns out inside the cargo there might be a handful of xenomorphs.
Oh, why have they done this?
Well, you see, here's the thing: the xenomorph gets out, and one of the characters you start off playing as, kind of for the tutorial mode, Deputy Administrator Hayes, a Weyland-Yutani woman,
Miller
has to engage the Cerberus protocol, which basically destroys anything trying to get out of the system as a quarantine method.
Oh.
So cue a crash landing on the USS Otago, which is a colonial marine ship, onto the planet of Lethe.
Of course it is.
And you have to basically XCOM your way through this game and kill a load of fucking aliens.
Oh, is it turn-based?
No, this is the interesting bit. So it's real-time, squad-based, isometric.
Uh-huh.
So think like Commandos. You remember those games?
Yes, I do.
There is a focus on stealth with it as well, because like you're better off not engaging with the aliens. So there's a little bit of like a classic Metal Gear Solid-y kind of thing going on, like avoiding line of sight and that kind of thing.
Huh? What was that?
Yeah, but with more kind of screeching and slather.
Yeah. But that's what they were saying in their language.
Yeah, in the alien language.
Whose footprints are these?
Yeah. Time pressures, and then tactical thinking, and huge open maps that you have to go through. Like, I've finished the first mission of it, and it took me nearly 4 hours. It's huge. It's absolutely enormous. So it's brilliant. It's everything I've ever wanted in an Aliens game. Like, so, Alien works for Alien Isolation. First person terror, horror kind of thing. Survival.
Works too good.
Yeah. Aliens Dark Descent works for aliens where you're as colonial marines. Because the thing is, every game that's been focused around the colonial marines in the past has been a shit first-person shooter.
Because it's the worst fucking genre of video games, that's why.
Like, I mean, obviously, Aliens Colonial Marines, everybody knows that was a fucking shit show.
It's game over, man.
Aliens Fireteam Elite was like a mid-as-fuck, not very interesting shooter. I mean, Alien Trilogy, if you go back to it, it weren't great. It was a bad Doom clone.
Remember that Alien vs. Predator reboot?
That was shite.
Where you played as a new, brand new xenomorph, and you had to you were born, and then you went through the air ducts, and you went
There
around.
was one where you could play as the alien or the predator or the marines, couldn't you? You could.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's that one.
Aliens vs. Predator.
Yeah.
The original one was
I
amazing.
like the idea, but
The idea, the execution. The original one was great.
The original one in the 90s was fucking brilliant.
The Doom cloney one.
Yeah, this one, however, this is really good because it nails the look of the Alien films. It's got the sound right, it's got the look right, like even down to the fact that because a lot of Alien games tend to go too sci-fi.
Yeah.
Like you go in here, there are still CRT monitors. Everything is still that kind of worn old 70s idea of the future technology. And it works. You're still using weapons with bullets in them. You know, it's not laser guns or any shit like that.
Like a Gatling laser.
No, none of that bullshit. But as you're going through, things get applied that make sense. So, for instance, this first mission that I'm in, you go to a typically alien universe part of the colony. It's like an individual kind of settlement within the colony called Dead Hills.
I wonder why.
Nothing's going to happen bad in a place called Dead Hills, is it?
No.
Anyway, the xenomorphs have infested the place and taken over. So you have to go find things a lot. You get to a point where, now think a colony, right? So you've got like places where people live, places where people work. You've also got farming because they need food. They need livestock.
Yeah.
And what is the most common thing that happens with a xenomorph when it takes over a creature? It takes the biological concept of them. So like you saw in Alien 3, a facehugger gets on a dog, you get a dog-like alien.
Yep.
So what happens when a facehugger gets on a cow?
Do they have an udder?
You get a
Ovinomorph.
you get a raging bull kind of xenomorph that comes in.
You
You
know
call a
I
crusher.
don't like cows.
Where you get a fucking charging. You get a cow with a fucking alien carapace on it that comes
Well,
charging at
imagine
you.
Imagine a platypus alien where it'd have like a beak with another beak that came out.
And weirdly enough, not as poisonous as an actual platypus.
Yeah, because the most
A
dangerous animal.
meerkat alien. Wow.
Well, a facehugger looks a bit like a meerkat when it comes out of the chest.
But yeah, so the game is slow paced. It's tense. You're walking around this kind of these dark areas, and you can hear the motion tracker ping in with the right kind of sound. You know there's aliens around. The aliens will do the vent thing. They'll ambush you. I've had aliens lay traps where there's like a body. You go there. Oh, I can investigate that, and you come up, and an alien fucking pounces out at you.
Where did this game come from? It's come out of nowhere.
It was announced last year at possibly Jeff Fest.
And did everyone go, ugh?
Well, I'd see at the time when it was revealed, like I was into the cinematic reveal, and then I thought it was a twin stick shooter, and I was out. But then it came out and says, no, it's a real time strategy, and I'm like, okay, I'm back in. I've been looking forward to this, and it's a mid-price game. It's £35 on PlayStation. It's like £30 on Steam.
Should I plug my mouse in to play it?
No, you can play it with a controller.
Yeah, I played it on PS5.
I was playing it on my Steam Deck earlier. Works fine on the Steam Deck.
Oh, really?
The cutscenes are a bit janky at times for me.
Yeah,
I don't know
well,
if you've-
It's Focus Interactive.
Yeah, that's the bit that lets it down. I mean, some of the voice acting is a little bit chunky. The cutscenes are average as fuck, but at the end of the day, it's the gameplay that sells this. The gameplay really fucking works well. I absolutely love it. Like it's reviewed reasonably well. It's kind of like a 7.5, 8 out of 10 kind of game on most of the reviews. It's got a 75 on Metacritic, so like it's not.
They keep doing this like
what you said.
They keep doing this Focus. They keep bringing out these double A's. Like Greedfall was a really good Dragon Age type game.
Yeah.
But it's a double A, and it was like 20 quid a few days later. Do you know what I mean? It's like
I got
what
this.
are you doing?
I mean, this came out on Tuesday this week, and I got it on CD keys for 25 quid. So
Come on.
yeah, no, it is really good. I would really recommend, especially if you're a fan of the Alien franchise, which I know we all are. or if you're a fan of tactics games, I would really recommend you play it.
As long as it's not as scary as Isolation, because I still not
No,
finished
it's
that.
not. It's nowhere near as scary as Isolation, because simply just due to the perspective of it. You're looking over the top of everything.
That's,
You've got
I think that's
quite a
what
good view.
Isolation does.
You also
You meet
you also have
one of
guns
the
and you can kill the
synthetics.
Xenos. Yeah,
I
it's
was going to say, you meet
yeah.
one of the synthetics, Daniel, and he is creepy as hell. when
yeah.
you
He's
first
a little bit working Jew, isn't he?
meet him.
He's not a David level synthetic.
No.
What, playing the pipe.
No.
He'll do the fingering.
Fiddle.
But I think it's definitely worth playing, and especially considering it's like a mid-price game. I think the value for money is outstanding for the quality that you get. Yeah, the cutscenes are a little janky, but it's the gameplay that's selling it, and I just really like these kind of isometric tactics games.
I do.
Yeah, and there's so many times like I'll get spotted, so then I've got to like kind of barricade myself in a room, get one guy on suppressing fire, get a turret set up, make sure everyone's got their grenades and they're reloaded, take some stim drugs so their stress level goes down. All that kind
Game
of thing.
over, man.
Well,
Is
yeah,
it like that? Where they
because you
get
can't
stressed.
because if they get too stressed, they get negative effects. But if you let them get like 3 or 4 levels of stress, they might they might like panic,
Discharge
or
the guns.
they might discharge the guns, they might sabotage the mission or whatever. You know?
No. That's like Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah, very very much so like that. Not as severe as Darkest Dungeon. Like it takes a
It's
while to
Darkest
get
Dungeon.
there.
I've beat that game, but I beat it with one character alive. Wasn't a good ending.
You know, it's also something so you get there is permadeath in it. If you lose your Marines, you lose your Marines.
Oh.
The only time you get a do-over with it is if you lose all 4 on a mission, you can restart from the last checkpoint. But if someone dies, you can't save scum back. So yeah, it's good. It's good. It's tense. They've got the alien behaviors right. Some of the big other special aliens that they put in there are really fucked up and really fun to fight. I really fucking love this game. It's so good.
Gathered. Excellent. Well done for finding something that you can latch onto.
Yeah, and I now need to get it finished before fucking Baldur's Gate 3 comes out. So yeah,
Oh yeah. Are you skimming over Final Fantasy 16 then? You're not bothering yet.
I think I'm going to make it my Christmas game.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good choice.
Because I
You should definitely play it.
Because I will play it. I made the Final Fantasy 7 remake Christmas game a couple of years ago. So
Oh. Okay. Cool. Stig.
I have. Sorry. My voice. My voice is knackered.
I have reached puberty.
Yeah. I have reached puberty. No, this week I have gone to see Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
it's a shit title for a film.
The
I think it's better than the last one.
yeah, I mean, how was it? It's fine. It's what
I
I
don't
mean.
mind the title.
Yeah, title's fine. Yeah, so this is obviously the latest Indiana Jones film, the last Indiana Jones film. Harrison Ford is back as the titular character. He's also joined by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who plays Helena, who is his goddaughter, the daughter of his old kind of archaeology buddy, Basil Shaw, played by Toby Jones. And it's basically him trying to get to the other part of the Antikythera, which is Archimedes' dial.
Is it Archimedes?
Yes,
Oh.
before the bad Nazi man, Dr. Voller, played by Mads Mikkelsen, gets there first. So it's Indiana Jones versus Nazis again, because that's what he does best, punching
Go
Nazis.
Nazis.
No.
Stop it.
Yeah, it's not. Well, I enjoyed it. To be honest, it's a hell of a lot better than Temple of Crystal Skull. A hell of a lot
What's a
better.
low bar?
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
That was my
Um,
biggest worry.
So it doesn't hit the heights of the first 3, but I don't think it ever was going to be. But I think Harrison Ford knew that Crystal Skull didn't see that character off well, and he's even come out of it like in interviews and said like, feel like I needed to kind of draw a line properly under the character and see him off properly. So, and it's perfectly good, like joyful film. Like I don't really have much issues with it really for an Indiana Jones in his 80s. You know, this ain't going to be an Indiana Jones in his 30s, is it? So,
No.
and it does a perfectly good job of actually kind of placing that character in situations for an 8-year-old
Yeah.
action hero. Do you know what I mean? So this sees him like kind of globe-trotting all over the place, like finding clues and going to different places. We start the film as well with a flashback scene. So we start the film it's right at the end of the war. We have some de-aging technology on Harrison Ford. I think it looks really good. I've seen people complain. I just think it's because they know what he looks like now and what he used to look like. And de-aging isn't 100% there, but I think this is probably some of the best de-aging I've seen. And that opening segment it's this kind of fight within a town and on a train, I thought it was really good.
Belongs in a museum.
And he says that a few times. And that opening section feels very Indiana Jones. It feels like something you could easily have put in any of the other three, including the dialogue, including like some of the fights and some of the kind of, like the just kind of like he taps a soldier on the head and he turns around and he gives him a bop. Like it feels very Indiana. Yeah, like it feels very Indiana Jones. I was disappointed because this isn't in the film when he kicks a Nazi off the train that he didn't say "Get off my train." Next to
Get off my plane.
So that kind of sets up the whole story. His kind of first interaction with Mads Mikkelsen's character, the friendship he has with Toby Jones. They find the Antikythera and only one half of it, and through the story we find that Basil has spent his whole life trying to find the other half. And that's where his daughter comes into it. She's kind of now trying to find the other half and relying on kind of Indiana to help her with that. Yeah, I mean, but the action is pretty solid. It like I said, it does what you'd expect for the constraints they have. I don't think it's not as over the top as Crystal Skull at all. There's no like nuking in the fridge. There's no swinging with monkeys. Like it's over the top, but not as, it's in keeping with the rest of the other Indiana Jones films.
Yeah.
So it feels perfectly fine. I think Phoebe Waller-Bridge does a really good job with Helena. Like, I think she's really fun. She's got good dialogue. I know she is writing the Tomb Raider series for Amazon.
She is.
Based on this, I think she could pull off a Lara Croft. I know she's, I think she's 42 now. So it would be an older Lara Croft,
No.
But I think that she'd pull it off based on this, and just like the kind of character, based on the kind of character she is,
cool.
Is in this. I think if you made that her into Lara Croft, it would fit. But yeah, it's really good. And John Rhys-Davies is back as Salah for a bit of a cameo here and there.
Nice. Is Shia LaBeouf in it?
No, Shia LaBeouf isn't in it, but they do address that. So I appreciated them taking the time, effort to go into why he's not around. So
do it.
And there's just there's moments in this film that are like where they step back away from the action, and there's moments of pathos, and it allows Indiana Jones to be more of a human than he's ever been. Like there's real emotion to some of the stuff that he talks about in this film, and his regrets and things like that. So I think it kind of adds a new dynamic to the character in that sense. He's not just a wisecracking fun adventurer. He's actually, he's old and he kind of has issues, and it's dealing with that. Boyd Holbrook is also in this as one of the basically the second man to Dr. Voller. He's kind of He's I would say muscle, but he's not his muscle, because his muscle is a guy called Olivia Richards, who is 7'2" and absolutely fucking huge, and he's just throwing people around in this film, and it's a lot of fun. I fully enjoyed it. I mean, I get people's complaints. I don't get the complaints I've seen where people are, this is fucking terrible, blah blah blah. Like, I think people are just so negative these days.
But then people probably like the Transformers films, mate. Don't worry about it.
I try not to be too negative about films unless it's Jurassic Park: Fallen Kingdom.
Which was terrible.
Yeah, I genuinely, if I don't like a film, I'll say I don't like it, and then I kind of move on. But there are people who
You don't stick up for it for no reason.
it will just go on and on and on. But like this, for me, is a perfectly serviceable summer blockbuster. You aren't,
Yep.
like I said, you aren't going to get what you got with Raiders or Last Crusade or anything like that. You're not getting that. That's not what this is about. But I think it does a perfectly good job of kind of putting a line under that character and saying, right, that's it. Indiana Jones, no more.
Yeah.
And he's not coming back. He's not being rebooted.
You won't be
Not
able-
while Kathleen Kennedy is still alive, at least, because
No.
I basically listened to an interview to it today, and she said, no, he's never coming back as that character if it's not Harrison Ford, and he doesn't want to do it anymore. So, and also it has
That's fair.
it has a kid in this. Ethan Isidore plays a kid called Teddy. He's like a little pickpocket character who's with Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character. He's really good. He's not an annoying child. He's
Mhm.
actually really fun, and it's hard these days to have a character like that, a kid character that's not annoying in this kind of film.
I'm very much looking forward to watching this in a few weeks on Disney Plus. Really
Yeah.
am.
That's the problem, innit?
It's not a problem for me, mate.
No, I mean the problem with we've been kind of discussing this in our Discord about films like this now not doing as much money, and it's stopped putting them on Disney Plus in 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Give it
That's
6
what I
to
mean.
7 months and make people go to the cinema to see it.
Oh, and if it were 8 months, I'd have to go and see it now. Do you know what I mean?
It's a 3 out of 5 film.
Yeah.
Perfectly good. Has a really nice ending that kind of draws a line on it. Goes a bit. The CGI is a bit shonky in some places. I don't understand why they kind of went to places like Sicily yet still use backdrops created by images. Like at times you're just like, you can tell it's CGI. And why?
Was a lot filmed during the pandemic?
They had some of that constraints, but they still
Not
did a lot of
massively.
location shooting. Not like
Yeah, yeah.
Crystal
Who,
Skull, where they did
who
like a lot
directed
in
it?
America. It's James Mangold, so the guy who did Logan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
But he's they have said that he did consult with Spielberg and Lucas, and when they needed a few things, and there's a few Spielbergian kind
I was
of
going to say Spielberg's not going to let him stray too far from the visual.
Yeah,
Yeah,
style.
there's got to be something in there. Do 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 do.
Obviously, like, the music's
That'll be in
great.
there.
the music's always going to be good in it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think
It's John Williams' last score, isn't it?
yeah, but
I think
I
he
think-
said he's retiring.
I think Harrison Ford's pretty happy with it. So if he's
Good.
happy to kind of
That's-
see the
It's better
character
than
off,
Crystal Skull. Jesus
it's much
Christ.
better than Crystal Skull.
Oh, no, didn't it? Cool. Excellent. Have we got any feedback? Well,
We have some
what have
feedback.
the listeners been doing this bloody week?
You know what? The listeners have been fucking busy. Should be going to work.
Mm.
But nah, they've been doing shit.
No,
Mhm.
providing us with content, it's great.
Exactly. So we are going to start off with the diseased brain of Super Natty Cat.
Oh, here we go.
And she said, this week I listened to a whole ton of Run the Jewels.
Great
Nice.
band.
I've listened to a few songs in the
Nice.
past, particularly bangers like Ooh La La, but this is the first time I've actually sat down and listened to an album. I couldn't tell you which one, but I've listened to one. And man, I'm in love. Wish I'd found them sooner.
Cool. I know of them.
Jules.
I know of them, but not for me.
I've actually seen them. I was working at Disneyland, the Banksy thing, and they did a show. And I was like,
Disneyland.
yeah, there was this.
That sounds
art
like
thing.
Disneyland too much, that doesn't it?
Well,
That
it
was
was
the point.
exactly. It was a play. Yeah, it was a play on
Oh.
Disneyland.
Of course,
so-
Banksy, you're too smart for me.
So it was, anyway, there was this created art show that ran for a month or so. But they had bands every Saturday night. Massive Attack and Fatboy Slim and a couple of other. Run the Jewels was one of them. I'd never heard of them until that point. Oh my god, they were so much fun. And the main lyricist, I guess you call him, is an absolute man mountain.
MC.
Killer Mike. Oh my god, he's ace.
Cool.
He also does a lot of. I think he's done some like TV shows. I can't remember if it was on Netflix or if it was on their own YouTube. But he does a lot of supporting black businesses and everything, and how to get money
Good
back
man.
into the black community and everything. So it's really interesting.
Yes,
he's a
he
really
does.
interesting
Yeah.
character.
I've seen a few like TikTok
It's
things
just-
on him.
Mm.
He just released an album,
He is a big lad.
solo album as well.
He's a killer.
Queen.
Cool.
Yeah, he's very
Um,
good. I really like them.
Zenos has said, hi folks, I should be working this morning despite it being a Sunday. As we're moving house tomorrow, I need to make up for not being available, but my workflow has crashed, so I'm here in your contact form instead. Excellent, Zenos, you got the priorities right. This week, and over the last few weeks, I've been playing Inkbound, a roguelike turn-based strategy game from Shiny Shoe, the makers of Monster Train. Pay attention here, Oodles.
Okay, I'm here.
It's in early access, but frankly, it's so polished already that you probably wouldn't notice. It's got a charming art style, simple but incredibly satisfying combat mechanics, and all the ridiculous damage snowballing you could ask for. Co-op with 4 players, and Oodles. And it's cheap too. There is a season pass and a cash shop, but it's all purely cosmetic, and there are a bunch of cosmetics available for every class, both on the free track of the season pass and from achievements in-game. I've been playing with 2 or 3 friends most of the time, and fights scale to your team size, so while it's never really overwhelming, it still takes some actual thought on how you're going to upgrade and use your resources, despite every fight being a pushover. Unless you get 400 burn stacks on a boss for 78,000 damage, because that will absolutely make it a pushover. Letting me double the debuff stacks was a mistake, even when it's intentional.
Nice. I love Monster Train as well.
It looks like it's only PC only, though.
Yeah, at the minute, I think it's coming to consoles.
Xbox, probably.
But it's worth looking up just the graphics, Oodles, because the graphics are fucking beautiful. It's got an absolutely charming little art style. It kind of looks like a hyper pop version of Hades at times.
Don't say that to me.
I'm just going to see if it's going to come to consoles.
He had me at burn stacks, mate.
Yeah, it's still in early access on PC. They haven't said anything about console releases, but it looks like something that it could go to. It's one of those things that probably will end up on the Switch or something later down the line.
That'll do me.
But it looks fucking great.
Cool.
Robotic Monkey's written in, says, "Hello, given that Oodles asked for some feedback without using an @everyone in the Discord, I thought I'd repay in kind and give some feedback about what I'm watching."
You're welcome.
No, always at everyone. Always at everyone.
Yeah.
I just know they all get tit on.
Yeah, don't get that.
So, Robotic Monkey says he's been watching Barry. I'm quite surprised I don't hear more people talking about the show. For people who haven't seen it, it's a dark comedy about a former Marine played by Bill Hader, who's now trying to scrape a living as a hitman. The first 3 seasons of it are absolutely brilliant television. Sadly, the final season, which just recently wrapped up, fell a little short of the mark for me. It's not awful, but I'm just not really sure it adds anything to what was already a brilliant story. If you've not seen any of it, I give it a solid recommendation.
It's on Sky Comedy, so it might be why it's not.
What the fuck's Sky Comedy? I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, so it might be why a lot of people have seen it.
I've seen the first 2 episodes of it. It is good. I need to go back to it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's a comedy. It's like a black
I can't
comedy.
buy Bill Hader as a Marine.
No.
The fuck? When did that happen?
Marines can be skinny.
I'm
Marines come in
nerdy
all
and weedy.
shapes and sizes.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Last up, we have Angry Kurt, best boy, saying, "This weekend I went to see their new Indiana Jones film, and you know what? It was okay.
See?
Okay.
Not in the same league as
it's
the
2
original
people.
trilogy, but I think most indie fans would be satisfied with it. Sure, it could be better, but at least it wasn't Crystal Skull scenario again."
That's 2 people. That's 2 people's opinion I trust. That's fine.
It does the job of being the 4th best Indiana Jones, and that's all it had to do. That's all it had to do is be the 4th best.
It understood the assignment.
Yeah.
Gaming wise, me and fellow Discordian Tig has started Far Cry 6 in co-op, which has been fun. Particularly a level where we had to infiltrate 2 large ships where he sniped from a lighthouse and spotted enemies for me whilst I went around on the ship taking them out silently.
Of course he used Kurt as bait. That's a Tig move. Right? He's like, you go there, I'll stay here and be safe. Of course he did. He's such a dad.
Other than that, I finished the new series of I Think You Should Leave, which was brilliant as always, and continued on to season 3 of Ted Lasso.
Nice. He's had a healthy media week. That's
Yeah,
great.
he's done a fair bit. Tell him, man, he should go to work. He needs to go to work, that lad.
Yeah, and they put out their In Bruges episode this week. On
They did. I need to listen to that.
Yes.
Listen to that one.
I've started it. I will finish it.
Can't
Cool.
believe Pete had never seen In Bruges.
That is baffling, isn't it? Mate,
Tell you what Kurt keeps doing with it.
Kurt never watched any Marvel film, mate. Let's not fucking get into that.
True, yeah.
When he did his Jaws one, I'm sure he's doing this to me on purpose. Like I said, he keeps like drawing out whether he liked something at the beginning, making it sound like he didn't like it, and then going right at the end, "Oh yeah, it was great."
You know why? Do you know why? Because he understands content.
Yes.
He does
That's
understand
how you
content.
keep them coming.
I'm sat there
Man
going,
knows
like
what
that,
he's doing.
going, don't you dare, Kurt. Don't you dare say that this is a bad film.
But yeah,
Cool,
that's all
cool.
the feedback.
Thank you for your feedback. So, as always, links to all our extracurricular activities are in the show notes and at modernescapism.co.uk. Please consider... I'm trying to sustain a burp here, by the way. That's why I'm talking really funny. I'm drinking Iron Brew 1801 or 1901. It's fucking delicious.
Just
But
let
yeah.
it out. It can be a new,
No.
new segment.
Not doing it. But yes, please consider becoming a patron to help support us. And we hope you liked this version of the show. Next week, we will be doing great soundtracks to shit films. It's not a Nexus episode. It's going to be just a full feature. You're going to get with the program very soon. Now I've done the socials, I did promise you a new segment that's going to be here every single week. So let me please welcome you to What's Up in Candyland.
And now, what's up in Candyland?
Now, buckle up, everyone.
Oh, no.
I don't know if I've spoken about this before, but it's something that's haunted me throughout life, and I really needed to get some answers for it. So, years ago, I watched a film called The Mummy 1999, starring Brendan Fraser.
Is that what the film's full title is? The Mummy 1999?
The Mummy 1999. There's fine film. There's a scene where Imhotep raises his arms.
Yep.
No hair anywhere. No hair on his body. No hair on his head. No hair on his armpits. I was distracted for the rest of the film. I could not stop thinking about, was it the actor that shaved? Does he just have alopecia and just doesn't have any hair? Was it a artistic decision? Did Egyptians not have any hair? Did they not have hair by choice? Did they not have hair?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the fashion? Let me tell you, it was the fashion. And I did some digging.
Oh, she's digged. She's dug.
I've dug. Egyptians, so they kind of created boats being sugared and waxed. Waxed, we all know what it is. Sugared, I'm not too sure about, but I've heard it hurts. So
It's like a...
Isn't
It's
sugar
super
just like
sticky,
being
innit?
waxed, but it's with
Yeah,
it's
super
with
sticky.
boiling sugar.
why
It's the
would
same
you
as
do
it's
that?
the same as prison napalm, where you put sugar in a kettle and throw it on someone's fucking face and burn the face off.
Ah!
Never been to prison, Candy? Come on.
Oh, I know. Well, maybe that's to come. So they use, as well as the old sugaring and waxing, which sounds a bit like being tarred and feathered, arsenic and QuickTime. So basically, they created the very first version of Veet. So that then got me onto like, what else did they do? Did they do anal bleaching? Like, I'm going full Philomena here.
So hang on. You jumped from armpits and heads
To
Well,
arseholes.
She jumped
Yeah,
from
more
Brendan
kind of
Fraser to
self-care.
bleached arses.
Well, so, I mean, everyone's got a hairy asshole. This is
Correct.
just a fact of life. And if you're going to get close to your asshole with
I bet Stig,
Veet-
I bet he's like a fucking dolphin from
Oh,
forehead
yeah.
down.
Oh, for sure.
Or his
then
eyebrows
that comes, I mean, that comes with its own problems, doesn't it? If you don't have the hair, then you've got nowhere to trap the moisture and it just comes out.
Slips off of
and-
the bed when he's bouncing. Telling you, it just slides
Woo!
off.
Well, I bet they
Flipper.
all. I bet they all had fucking fun sliding down those pyramids.
I don't
Honestly,
think they did
do you think
that.
they had races? But yeah, like, so did they like arsenic their arse and holes? Who knows? So, also, if you want a good time, and this also, my journey throughout the internet led me to this. If you want a good time, look up Veet for Men reviews.
Yeah,
You will
visual
spend-
reviews are great.
Oh my goodness! But there's a
Yeah.
twist.
I've never
there's a
waxed ever.
Well,
But maybe that's why
you're
the
missing
mummies
out.
were mummified. They're wrapped in bandages after
Candy,
going through
I-
all of
Yeah,
that
they
stuff.
weren't actually dead; they were just dying.
I am 99% hair. There's
You
very
are
little I can do.
surprisingly
I'm
hirsute,
not.
aren't you?
I am not.
I am very
I
hairy.
have.
I sometimes-
I have hair on my head.
You said that when in person. You went, "How hairy are you?"
I know because I noticed the chest hair kind of poking up to say hello to me. Like we said hello and had a hug, and then your chest hair came out, and it's like, oh.
I'm a hairy boy. You should see my ass, mate.
I generally can't stand. I don't have hair. I shave my armpits, shave my chest.
I know people that do. I know
I
people
have
that do.
hardly any hair on my legs. Not shave my legs, but I have hardly any hair on it. Got a perfectly smooth bottom.
Show us.
Say bottom again.
Bottom. Bottom.
Bottom.
Pubes get trimmed. Balls
Like
get
Topper.
shaven.
You know, the fucking audience has to know more about us. Jesus fucking.
Right.
Yeah,
All I'm
they're
saying
gonna
is,
love
listeners,
this
I
content
don't
here.
grow hair. I don't grow hair. I have like
What
wispy
sounds
bits
of it you do when you shave it all fucking off?
No, I have. Yeah,
Doesn't give it a
because
chance.
why would I want pubes on my nipples? That's what all I get. Like wispy bits of hair on my nips. No, that just looks fucking stupid. So they come off. I sweat less without my armpit hair, so that's why I carried on doing that. So if I could afford lasering, I'd get it all lasered off, so I'd never have to do it
I'm
again.
kind of jealous, mate, because my
Can't grow a beard, you've
Mexican
seen that.
wolf boy.
Whenever I let it grow out, after about 5 days, it looks like I've rubbed dirt on my face. So I have hair on my head, some on my legs. That is about it.
I have hair from like
Congratulations.
the middle of my calves down, so I'm basically like a Shire horse.
And I think, ladies and gentlemen, that's what's up in Candyland this week.
Oh, let me say
Expect that.
there is one twist to this tale. There was a female. There's a female pharaoh called Wentaqua or something.
Okay.
Yeah, nailed it.
She wore a false beard. So there you
Did
go.
she?
Outstanding.
Yeah,
Incredible.
So
beards
the
are
roles were
powerful.
flipped. Beards are powerful. I concur.
Yeah, so the men shaved and the women were hairy.
Mm.
It's like the anime that Oodles was talking about.
Yeah. Uku. I can't even fucking say it. Uku. The inner chambers. But yes, that is what is up in Candyland. Thank you for being listeners. If you
I'm
are not
basically
a
a mid-tap.
patron, this is the end of the show. We hope you enjoyed this brisker episode. But if you are a patron, there's more to come. But for everyone else, goodbye.
Bye.